Complete CSS course. Hi, welcome to Steadfast Lab, where you can learn web development quickly and easily with real-world explanations, examples, and exercises. In this tutorial, we will cover CSS from start to finish, making it simple and practical for you to master. Introduction to CSS. Before we begin, let's ask ourselves, what is CSS? Why do we use CSS? What are the benefits of CSS? Let's start by defining CSS. CSS, Cascading Style Sheets, is a language used to style and format the appearance of web pages. It controls how HTML elements are displayed on a web page. Let's take a look at this web page created using only HTML. Let's add CSS to this web page to implement the layout and ensure it is fully responsive on all devices. Let's add background colors and text colors to enhance the visual appeal of the web page. Let's make the text look stylish by applying CSS font styles. Let's add a simple animation that changes the background color every 2 seconds. Without CSS, an HTML page would just be black text on a white background. With CSS, we can make it colorful, responsive, and engaging. So, this is what we will be learning throughout this course. CSS offers many benefits to an HTML web page. Different ways to apply CSS. You can add CSS to any HTML web page using the following methods. 1. Inline CSS with style attribute. Inline CSS applies styles directly within an HTML element using the style attribute. Inline CSS is best for quick, one-time styling, and not recommended for larger projects because it is hard to maintain. Example. The style attribute changes the text color to red and increases the font size to 30 pixels. Real-world use case. If you want to change the color of a single button in an email template without affecting other buttons. Let's move to the next section. To internal CSS using style in head. Internal CSS is written inside a style tag in the head section of an HTML file. Internal CSS is good for small projects. Internal CSS can get messy if used in large-scale projects. Example of internal CSS. All paragraph elements in this HTML file will have blue text in a font size of 33 pixels. Real-world use case. If you're making a one-page website and want to apply consistent styles without creating an extra file, you can use internal CSS for that. External CSS with .css file extension. An external CSS file is a separate file that contains CSS code to style an HTML web page. It is saved with a .css extension and linked to the HTML file using a link tag. To create an external CSS file and link it to an HTML file, follow these steps. Step 1. Create the CSS file. In VS Code, we create a CSS file by naming it style and adding the .css extension, style.css. Let's write a CSS rule to style all paragraph, p-tag, elements in the index.html file. Step 2. Link the CSS file to the HTML file. In the index.html file, we will add a link tag inside the head section with rel equals stylesheet and href equals style.css to link the CSS file. When you save the file, the webpage will update, changing the paragraph color to red. Rel equals stylesheet specifies the relationship between the HTML file and the link file. Here, it tells the browser that the linked file is a stylesheet CSS file. Href equals style.css specifies the file path of the CSS file to be used for styling the webpage. In this case, it links to style.css. Real-world use case. If you're building a full website and need a consistent design across multiple pages, e.g., a company website, you need to use external CSS. Exercise 1. Create an HTML file and use inline CSS to change the text color of a h1 tag element. 2. Use internal CSS to style all paragraph elements to have blue text and a font size of 22 pixels. 3. Create an external CSS file and apply styles to all h2 elements, make them bold and green. Please pause the video and try answering the question before moving to the solution section. Don't forget to subscribe and share to help grow our community and reach more people. Let's build this learning space together. Solution 1. Create an HTML file and use inline CSS to change the text color of a h1 element. Use internal CSS to style all paragraph elements to have blue text and a font size of 22 pixels. Create an external CSS file and apply styles to all h2 elements, make them bold and green. This brings us to the end of our CSS introduction. Stay tuned and do not miss anything from this channel. We have also just finished learning HTML. Click on the video to watch our complete HTML course for free, featuring detailed explanations, real-world examples, and exercises.